There is a force that can change the way you see the world, the way you respond to challenges, and the way you rise after every fall. It is not money, it is not luck, it is not talent, it is gratitude. Think about this for a moment. Every morning when you open your eyes, you are given a gift, the gift of another day. Yet how often do we treat this gift as if it were guaranteed? How often do we complain about what we don't have instead of celebrating what we do? Gratitude is the practice of turning every ordinary moment into a miracle. Many people believe that success comes from relentless hustle, from chasing goals without rest. But here's the truth. The people who thrive, who truly feel alive, are the ones who know how to pause and say, thank you. They understand that gratitude is not weakness, it is strength. Gratitude shifts your focus from what is missing to what is present, from scarcity to abundance, from fear to courage. Spencer Beachesh once said, I wouldn't change what happened to me, because it made me who I am today. The most important lesson is to live with an attitude of gratitude and humility. This is not just a nice quote, it's a survival strategy. When life knocks you down, gratitude is what helps you stand again. Imagine this. Your 85-year-old self wakes up one day in the body of your 30-year-old self. Suddenly, you realize how incredible it feels just to walk without pain, to think clearly, to have energy running through your veins. That shift in perspective is gratitude. It reminds you that today, right now, is the golden time of your life. Gratitude is not about ignoring your struggles. It is about realizing that even in your darkest days, there is light. You may not control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you respond. And when your response is gratitude, you discover power where you thought there was none. Here's the beauty of gratitude. It cannot coexist with fear or anger. You cannot be angry and grateful at the same time. You cannot be fearful and grateful at the same time. That's why gratitude is the antidote to the emotions that destroy us. Start your day with gratitude, and you will notice fear shrinking, anger fading, stress dissolving. Gratitude also transforms how you see time. Suddenly, 5 more minutes of scrolling on your phone feels less important than 5 minutes spent chasing your dream. Hitting the snooze button feels less tempting when you remember that waking up itself is a privilege. When you are grateful, you no longer move like a victim. You move like someone chosen, blessed, alive. Think about how extraordinary that is. Most people are sleepwalking through life, waiting for the perfect moment. But gratitude teaches you that the perfect moment is already here. You don't wait to be happy. You choose to be happy because you realize you already have enough. Gratitude is not passive, it is active. It is a mindset that pushes you to grow. When you are grateful for the progress you've made, no matter how small, you guard that progress, you protect it, you build on it. Gratitude motivates you to keep moving forward. Let me tell you this, your greatest strength is not just your skill or intelligence, it is your ability to reframe, to look at life and say, yes, it's hard, but I am thankful, I am alive. And because I am alive, I still have a chance. Gratitude is what separates people who merely exist from people who truly live. You don't have to wake up early. You get to. You don't have to go to work. You get to. You don't have to chase your dream. You get to. That shift in language is the shift in perspective, and perspective is everything. So I ask you, how will you see the rest of your day? Because how you see your day will often determine how you see your life. You can focus on the storms, or you can focus on the strength you gain while walking through them. You can focus on what's missing, or you can focus on what's already in your hands. Life is not perfect. It never will be. But gratitude makes it worth living. Gratitude turns setbacks into comebacks, pain into wisdom, and ordinary days into blessings. Gratitude is the voice inside you that whispers, I am enough. I have enough. And because of that, I can become more. This is the power of gratitude, and this is where transformation begins. Gratitude is not just something you practice once a year on Thanksgiving. It is not limited to saying thank you when someone does you a favor. Gratitude is a way of life. It is a lens through which you see everything, from the biggest milestones to the smallest moments that most people overlook. Think about the ordinary things that surround you right now. The chair you are sitting on, The roof above your head, the food that fills your stomach, even the air filling your lungs. These are things we usually take for granted, yet they are miracles when you pause to notice them. Gratitude is about awakening to the extraordinary hidden in the ordinary. When you practice gratitude daily, life starts to feel lighter. Problems don't vanish, but your ability to carry them grows stronger. Stress doesn't disappear, but your perspective shifts so that stress no longer controls you. Gratitude doesn't just make life easier, it makes life richer. One of the simplest yet most powerful tools is the gratitude list. Before you even get out of bed, list 3 things you are grateful for. They don't need to be grand or dramatic. It could be the smile of your child, the taste of your morning coffee, the sound of birds outside your window. These little reminders anchor your heart in appreciation before the rush of the day begins. And when challenges arise, because they always will, gratitude acts as your shield. Instead of saying, "Why me?" you start saying, "What is this teaching me? What can I still appreciate in this storm?" That shift gives you resilience. Gratitude doesn't deny the pain, but it gives you power to move through it. Gratitude also lives in the way we treat people. Saying thank you to a colleague, showing appreciation to your parents, or simply smiling at a stranger can create ripples far beyond what you imagine. A grateful heart softens interactions, heals relationships, and builds trust. When people feel valued, they give more of their best selves. Gratitude multiplies generosity. The truth is, every relationship thrives on gratitude. Parents sacrifice silently for their children. Teachers dedicate years to shaping young minds. Friends stand by us in silence when we have nothing left to say. Gratitude acknowledges these gifts, strengthens bonds, and keeps us from falling into entitlement. As the saying goes, a grateful heart is a magnet for miracles. Why? Because when you live in gratitude, you stop waiting for perfect conditions to be happy. You realize happiness is already here, hidden in the simple and the small. Suddenly, an ordinary dinner becomes a feast. A walk in the park becomes a blessing. And even a tough day becomes a lesson. Science backs this up too. Studies show that people who practice gratitude regularly sleep better, have lower stress, and experience higher levels of joy. Why? Because gratitude rewires the brain. It trains your mind to notice the good, to savor the present, to anchor in positivity instead of drowning in negativity. But gratitude is not just about feelings, it's about action. If you are grateful for your health, take care of your body. If you are grateful for your family, show them love through your time and presence. If you are grateful for opportunities, work hard so you honor them. Gratitude without action is empty. Gratitude with action transforms your life and the lives of others. Let's make this practical. Start with these habits. The gratitude journal. Write down 3 things every night that made your day better. This shifts your mind away from problems toward blessings before you sleep. The gratitude pause. Whenever you feel stressed, stop for 60 seconds. Breathe deeply and name 1 thing you are thankful for. Watch how quickly your state of mind changes. The gratitude message. Send a text or make a call to thank someone who has made an impact on you. It might surprise them, but it will also fill your own heart with joy. In daily life, gratitude is also about mindfulness. Instead of rushing through meals, taste your food slowly and think about the farmers, the workers, and even the cook who made it possible. Instead of scrolling through your phone absent-mindedly, look at your loved ones and really see them. Gratitude is presence. Gratitude is awareness. And here's something important. Gratitude is not only for the good times. True gratitude shows up in the hard times. When you lose your job but still have your health, be grateful. When a dream collapses but your family still stands with you, be grateful. Gratitude in adversity is not denial. It's defiance. It's saying, this pain will not steal my joy. I still choose to see the light, There's an old proverb that says, "When you drink water, remember the source." In daily life, gratitude means remembering the people, the sacrifices, and the unseen hands that support your journey. None of us make it alone. Gratitude keeps us humble and connected. So ask yourself today, what are the small blessings I've overlooked? Who are the people I need to thank? What is one thing in my ordinary life that I can treat as extraordinary? Because when you practice gratitude daily, you don't just survive life, you savor it. Gratitude turns living into thriving. And when gratitude becomes your daily rhythm, happiness is no longer something you chase. It is something you carry with you everywhere you go. Gratitude is not only a spiritual principle or a moral virtue, it is also science. Over the past 2 decades, psychologists, neuroscientists, and researchers have discovered something extraordinary. Gratitude doesn't just make you feel good, it changes your brain, your body, and your future. Let's start with the brain. Every thought you think creates a chemical reaction. Negative thoughts produce stress hormones like cortisol, which weaken your immune system, cloud your judgment, and drain your energy. Positive thoughts, on the other hand, release chemicals like dopamine and serotonin, the feel-good neurotransmitters that create happiness, motivation, and resilience. And here's the key. Gratitude is one of the fastest ways to activate these positive chemicals. When you pause and list 3 things you are grateful for, your brain immediately begins to shift. Neural pathways strengthen around positivity, while pathways built on fear and negativity weaken. Over time, gratitude literally rewires your brain to default toward optimism. You stop automatically scanning for what's wrong, and you start noticing what's right. Dr. Robert Emmons, one of the world's leading scientific experts on gratitude, found that people who kept a gratitude journal for just 10 weeks reported 25% greater happiness, slept better, and exercised more than those who didn't. Think about that. By simply writing down what you are thankful for, you can reprogram your brain toward joy. Another fascinating study from the University of Pennsylvania asked participants to write and deliver a letter of gratitude to someone they had never properly thanked. The result? A dramatic increase in happiness that lasted for weeks. Gratitude doesn't just create a momentary spark, it has lasting power. And the benefits don't stop with the brain. Gratitude has measurable effects on the body. People who practice gratitude have lower blood pressure, stronger immune systems, and reduced symptoms of depression and anxiety. Why? Because gratitude calms the nervous system. It shifts you from the fight or flight state of stress into the rest and repair state of healing. When you feel grateful, your heart rate slows, your muscles relax, and your breathing deepens. Your body literally receives a message that it is safe. Gratitude tells your biology, you can grow, you can heal, you can rest. Think about how powerful that is. We live in a world filled with pressure, deadlines, bills, responsibilities, constant noise. Stress has become the default. But gratitude is a reset button. Just a few moments of sincere thankfulness can undo hours of tension. There is also a psychological reason gratitude is so powerful. It shifts your perspective from scarcity to abundance. Fear says there is not enough. Anger says I deserve more. Envy says they have what I lack. But gratitude says I already have enough. That mental shift breaks the chains of comparison and competition. It brings peace. Here's another truth. Gratitude and fear cannot live in the same space. You cannot be deeply grateful and deeply afraid at the same time. You cannot be genuinely thankful and consumed with anger simultaneously. That's why gratitude is medicine for the soul. It starves negative emotions and feeds positive ones. Some neuroscientists even discovered that gratitude activates the same brain regions as generosity. That means when you are grateful, you are more likely to give, and when you give, your gratitude deepens. It's a cycle that fuels happiness, connection, and meaning. Let's make this practical. Imagine two people stuck in the same traffic jam. One is cursing, slamming the wheel, and arriving home exhausted. The other takes a breath and says, "I'm grateful I have a car. I'm grateful I'm safe. I'm grateful I have a home to drive to." Same situation, different mindset, different emotional outcome. Gratitude doesn't always change your circumstances, but it always changes your experience of them. This is why so many successful people across industries practice gratitude rituals. Tony Robbins begins his mornings by closing his eyes and focusing for 10 minutes on 3 things he is deeply grateful for. Oprah Winfrey has kept a gratitude journal for decades. These leaders understand that gratitude is not optional, it is foundational. But here's something most people don't realize. Gratitude also enhances goal achievement. When you are grateful for the progress you've already made, your brain releases motivation chemicals that push you forward. Gratitude doesn't make you complacent. It makes you more driven. Because you stop seeing life as a burden and start seeing it as a blessing. There's a saying in psychology, what you focus on expands. Focus on problems and they grow. Focus on blessings and they multiply. Gratitude sharpens your focus toward what you want to grow. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy of abundance. But let's not forget the deeper layer. Gratitude is not just a tool for personal success. It's a path to collective well-being. Research shows that communities built on gratitude and kindness have higher trust, stronger bonds, and greater resilience during crises. Gratitude is not only personal healing, it is social glue. Now imagine what would happen if gratitude became a habit, not just for individuals, but for families, workplaces, and nations. What if instead of complaining about what divides us, we started appreciating what connects us? Gratitude has the power to shift culture, not just individuals. So here's the challenge. Treat gratitude like exercise. Train it daily. Flex that muscle until it becomes your natural response. Write it. Speak it. Feel it. Practice it until your brain, your body, and your spirit know nothing else. Because gratitude is not just science and it's not just psychology, it is transformation. Gratitude is how you turn stress into strength. Gratitude is how you turn anxiety into peace. Gratitude is how you turn existence into joy. This is not theory, this is proven, this is practical, this is powerful. And the best part, it is available to you right now. All it takes is one choice: to notice, to appreciate, to say thank you. Gratitude is not only about what we feel inside, it is about how we connect with the people around us. Relationships are the foundation of life, and gratitude is the cement that holds them together. Without gratitude, love dries up, respect fades, and connections weaken. But with gratitude, every relationship deepens, every bond strengthens, and every interaction becomes more meaningful. Let's begin with the most sacred relationship of all, the one with our parents. From the moment we take our first breath, our parents give. They give time, energy, money, and most of all, unconditional love. They sacrifice sleep so we can rest, work tirelessly so we can eat, and worry endlessly so we can dream freely. Yet too often we take them for granted. We forget to say the simple words, "Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Dad." There's an old saying, a parent can replace anyone, but no one can replace a parent. To live with gratitude means to honor their sacrifices not only with words, but with the way we live. When you work hard, when you stay true to your values, when you build a life filled with integrity, that is gratitude in action toward your parents. The same is true for teachers. A teacher is not just someone who gives information. A teacher shapes minds, plants seeds of inspiration, and often believes in us when no one else does. Gratitude toward teachers is not just about saying thank you on graduation day. It is about remembering that every success you achieve carries a fingerprint of those who guided you. In fact, many cultures honor this deeply. In Vietnam, people say, Uong nuoch non nung won. When you drink water, remember the source. In America, we celebrate Teacher Appreciation Week. Across the world, traditions exist to remind us. None of us rise alone. Gratitude is the bridge that connects generations. Now let's talk about friendships. A true friend is a rare gift. They are the ones who laugh with us in joy and sit silently with us in sorrow. Gratitude for friendship means not waiting until it's too late to say, I appreciate you. It's about checking in, showing up, and cherishing the bond you share. A grateful heart never takes a friend for granted, because it knows how rare and precious loyalty really is. But gratitude extends beyond family and friends. It belongs in our workplaces too. A simple thank you to a colleague can change the energy of an entire office. Leaders who express gratitude create cultures of trust and motivation. Employees who feel appreciated give more than their best. Gratitude at work is not just polite, it's productive. In fact, research shows that gratitude in professional environments increases performance, reduces turnover, and strengthens teamwork. When people feel seen and valued, they rise higher. Think about it. Wouldn't you work harder for someone who notices your effort? Gratitude is leadership. Gratitude is influence. On a larger scale, gratitude is the heart of culture itself. Every society that thrives is built on traditions of remembrance. We honor veterans for their service, celebrate national holidays to remember history, and gather at family tables to give thanks. These rituals are not empty customs. They are reminders that we are part of something greater than ourselves. In the United States, Thanksgiving is perhaps the clearest expression of this cultural gratitude. Families gather not just to eat, but to reflect on blessings. It is a tradition that transcends food. It is about pausing, appreciating, and connecting. Around the world, similar traditions exist. In Japan, respect for elders is celebrated. In Mexico, Dia de los Muertos honors ancestors. In Vietnam, Vu Lan is a time to express gratitude to parents. Different names, different forms, but one truth. Gratitude is universal. And here's something beautiful. Gratitude creates harmony across differences. In a world divided by politics, religion, and ideology, gratitude reminds us of our shared humanity. No matter where you come from or what you believe, everyone understands the power of a sincere thank you. Gratitude is a universal language. But what happens when gratitude is absent? Without gratitude, relationships suffer. People start to feel invisible, unappreciated, unloved. Couples drift apart because they stop noticing each other's efforts. Children grow distant from parents because they forget the sacrifices behind their comfort. Teams collapse because individuals crave recognition they never receive. A lack of gratitude doesn't just hurt feelings, it erodes trust and destroys connections. That is why gratitude must be practiced intentionally. It is not enough to feel it, you must express it. Gratitude spoken aloud has power. Gratitude shown through action has impact. A handwritten note, a warm hug, a thoughtful gift, or simply time spent together. These are the ways gratitude becomes alive. Remember this. Gratitude is not weakness. It is not dependence. Gratitude is strength. It takes humility to acknowledge, I could not have done this alone. It takes courage to look someone in the eye and say, you matter to me. And it takes wisdom to honor the people and traditions that shaped you. Let me share a perspective. In many indigenous cultures, gratitude is not an occasional act. It is woven into every part of life. They thank the earth for food, the rivers for water, the animals for survival, and the community for belonging. This constant awareness creates harmony between people and nature. Modern science now confirms what ancient wisdom has always known. Gratitude sustains not just individuals, but entire societies. So ask yourself, who do you need to thank today? Your parents? A teacher? A friend? A colleague? Gratitude has no expiration date. It is never too late to say, I appreciate you. And here's the final truth. When you live with gratitude in your relationships, you don't just bless others, you bless yourself. Because a grateful heart is always full, and a full heart cannot feel empty. Gratitude strengthens love, deepens respect, and builds legacies that last long after we are gone. This is the power of gratitude in relationships and culture. It reminds us that life is not about what we accumulate, but about the connections we nurture. Gratitude keeps us humble, keeps us human, and keeps us whole. Gratitude is more than a feeling. It is a choice, a habit, a way of life. When you choose gratitude, you choose transformation. You choose to see abundance instead of lack, opportunities instead of obstacles, blessings instead of burdens. Gratitude is not something that happens to you. It is something you create every single day. Life will never be perfect. You will face disappointments, failures, heartbreaks, and unexpected storms. But gratitude gives you the strength to stand tall in the rain. It whispers, even here, even now, there is something good. And when you train your eyes to see the good, you unlock resilience that no hardship can steal. Think about the great leaders, thinkers, and dreamers throughout history. They all understood gratitude. Abraham Lincoln once said, "We can complain because rose bushes have thorns, or rejoice because thorns have roses." That is gratitude in action, a shift in perspective that changes everything. But let's bring this closer to home. Imagine you wake up tomorrow and the only things you have are the things you gave thanks for today. Would you have your health, your family, your job, your friends? Gratitude reminds us not to wait until something is gone to appreciate it. Gratitude tells us, value it now, love it now, honor it now. Transformation begins with small steps. Start with 1 minute a day. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and think of 3 things you are grateful for. It could be your breath, your home, your loved ones, or simply the chance to try again. That 1 minute sets the tone for your entire day. Over time, that 1 minute becomes 5, then 10, until gratitude becomes your natural state of being. Here's the secret. Gratitude doesn't just change how you feel, it changes what you attract. When you are grateful, you radiate positivity, and positivity draws more opportunities, more love, more abundance into your life. Gratitude is a magnet. It turns you into a beacon that pulls in blessings you never imagined. Gratitude also transforms goals. Many people chase success hoping it will bring happiness, but gratitude flips the script. When you are happy with what you have, you create more success. When you appreciate the progress, you gain the energy to keep moving. Gratitude makes the journey as fulfilling as the destination. Now, let's talk about identity. Gratitude is not about pretending life is perfect. It is about declaring, I am enough. When you live with gratitude, you stop defining yourself by what you lack. You stop chasing validation. You stop comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. Gratitude roots your identity in abundance, not scarcity, and when you know you are enough, you begin to give. Gratitude fuels generosity. You share more of your time, your love, your resources, because you recognize you already have so much. This generosity then multiplies gratitude in others, creating a cycle of hope and healing. Imagine a world where gratitude was everyone's default setting. That world would be filled with kindness, compassion, and peace. But we must also be honest. Gratitude is not always easy. It is easy to be thankful when life is smooth, but much harder when the road is rough. Yet it is in those hard moments that gratitude has the most power. To say thank you in the middle of pain is not denial. It is defiance. It is courage. It is choosing to rise above circumstances instead of being crushed by them. Les Brown, one of the world's greatest motivational speakers, once said, "Someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality." Gratitude embodies that truth. Instead of focusing on what others say you cannot do, gratitude focuses on the fact that you are still here, still breathing, still capable. Gratitude gives you the belief to keep going when the odds are against you. So how do you transform your life through gratitude? Commit to it daily. Gratitude is like a muscle. The more you practice, the stronger it becomes. Express it openly. Don't just feel gratitude, share it. Speak it, write it, show it. Let the people in your life know they matter. Use it in adversity. When life gets tough, ask yourself, what can I still be grateful for right now? That question shifts despair into determination. Live it through action. Gratitude is not passive. If you are grateful for your body, treat it well. If you are grateful for opportunities, seize them. If you are grateful for love, nurture it. And finally, gratitude transforms not just your present, but your future. The decisions you make with a grateful heart are wiser, kinder, and more aligned with who you want to become. Gratitude keeps you grounded in humility while lifting you into greatness. So as we close this journey, let this truth sink deep into your soul. Gratitude is the key to peace, the key to happiness, the key to success. Gratitude is not a destination, it is the path itself. From this day forward, walk with gratitude. Wake up with gratitude. Speak with gratitude. Love with gratitude. And watch how your life unfolds in ways you never thought possible. Because when you live with gratitude, you don't just survive, you thrive. You don't just exist, you live, and your life becomes the greatest gift of all, not only for yourself, but for everyone around you.